Okay. Yeah, now I'm going to show you one of the things that I came up with when I had my engine rebuilt by some guys, and they did a good job. They told me they added on a high volume oil pump so that it would have better oil pressure. And when I got everything ready to put back together, problem is it wouldn't fit my oil pan. It wouldn't go down because this guy stands too tall. And so that kind of messes me up. I'm going to have to take this pump off, and I'm going to have to put my old one back on, which actually sits a little bit lower and was on when I had the other oil pan on. So originally, when I took this thing apart, this oil screen, this pickup screen, was almost completely plugged. So that, I think, had a lot to do with low oil pressure. And so now I'll put this back on with the old original pump, and it'll have plenty of oil pressure. Also, I had to go to another company to get my gaskets. And that's the wrong side. But I went to a company. First off, I tried Speedway motors, and they've been pretty good on a lot of stuff I've purchased in the past. But these guys, other than the bolt holes having to be adjusted just a little bit, these guys line right up with the gizmo here. The ones I got from Speedway, which was this bunch, it unfortunately would not, if I got it to where it would fit at this end, then it wouldn't fit at this other end. Yeah, it just wouldn't fit. So I had to get away from that and went to these ones I got from Van Pelt, and they seem to be a pretty good outfit for stuff. So I went with them. I didn't have to buy a whole set. All I had to do was just buy the gaskets for the oil pan, and she's doing pretty good. So I'm gonna hook those up, and I think we're gonna be good. I gotta take this oil pump off first, put the old one back on, make sure everything's wired in right, and then that'll be good. Well, I'm not sure why they wire these in like they do. It's apparently some type of protection to keep the vibration from loosening up the bolts and having this thing come loose. I have a hard time understanding that would even happen. You know, these things are so tight, and of course you can use Loctite now, which, you know, will keep things all good. Gotta see here, make sure I don't get anything messed up here. I'm not going to use this, so it doesn't matter a whole lot. There we go. Now I've got a small wrench I need for that. I think it might be 7/16. So I know I've got 7/16. I usually have about 3 of them. There we go. Let's see if it's 7/16. No, Half inch? Good heavens, is it really half inch? Yes, it is. There we go. Oh, let me see. I want to loosen these guys too. Now those are 7/16. Okay. Well, it's a beautiful day here. It's March 17th, 2026, and I think we're heading for some much nicer weather, and so I can start working on this thing again. And it's going to be nice to get it back together. You know, first chance I get to fire it up. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about all that. So we'll see how that works. And then this guy here, we're going to pop it off. Yep, we did have a gasket there. So that'll have to be cleaned up. Yep. Okay. Have to make sure this doesn't fall down inside my engine. I think we got it right there. There we go. Now, this is the old guy. I'm going to take a break for a minute and clean this up a little bit better. Okay, now we're going to torque down the oil pan bolts, and the manual says 15 pounds and then up to 18 for the final. So I'm trying to be careful here because these bolts are very small and it wouldn't take much to break them, and then that's a real problem if that happens. So, but the whole idea is to get them good and tight so that hopefully there's no leaks. I'm starting at 15 pounds and trying to get all of them started good. These are grade 5, so they're pretty good bolts. But what I found when I was doing this is that the original bolts, which I have no idea what happened to them, they took off on their own. They were a little bit shorter than these, and it kind of felt like they were bottoming out and not threaded all the way through, and I just couldn't tell. So I'm being very careful. I think I may stop at 15. Come on. Oh boy, some of these feel like they're stretching. There we go. I gotta say, I'm very nervous about some of these. So far, so good. The guy that I bought this pickup from was a little bit less than familiar with it. I don't know if he was a little bit on the deceitful side or if he just didn't know, but I sure found a lot of issues that he should have kind of told me, but you know, buyer beware. That's kind of what happens. Okay, these are all at 15, and I think, yeah, I think I'm going to stop right there. I don't really trust going any more on that, but they are good, and I'm very happy that I didn't snap one of them, because that happens sometimes. Now I'm backing off my torque wrench to 0. I was told a long time ago that if you're using your torque wrench and you're torquing down heads or something and you got 75 pounds on it, you don't want to put it back in its case stuck at 75. It's just not a good practice. So, but anyway, the pan's on. Everything's on like it's supposed to be. Now, I think I'm going to clean the excess sealer off of this if I can. Get as much off of it as I can because I don't want it to collect dust or anything else. So I'm going to do this and get this done, and we'll see how it looks. Yes, indeed. She's looking real good now. I'm very happy with that so far. Now, if the seals do what they're supposed to do, I'll be really happy. So now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and clean up my hands because I got way too much extra grease on them. Okay, now that I got the oil pan on, it's time to start working on the top of the engine. And here's the intake manifold, which goes like this, I believe. Yeah, that's going to go on there about like that. Yeah, so it just kind of fit right there. So that looks pretty good, but I don't like this. I don't like that gasket or whatever it is, this shield. I don't like it out like that. So I think I'm gonna see about doing a little trim on it. We'll see if I can trim that off a little bit. Okay, now that looks pretty decent. Yeah, we'll have to take care of that. Okay, time out. Okay, well, here's one of the things that an old timer taught me. this is the blow-by hole for the engine, and the tube comes out and goes down underneath the oil pan, and basically your blow-by oil drips, all that crap ends up on the ground, which I don't think is good. And if you're going down the road, it'll whip up and it'll get on your tailgate. So I found that a freeze plug will fit right here. A freeze plug will fit there. I'll drill a hole in it, and I'll end up putting in this rubber grommet right in here with this PVC valve. Now that I'll run around to the back side of the it's the carburetor. That guy I listen to on TV calls it a fuel making happener, but anyway, the carburetor. And so there will be a negative pressure pulled on the crankcase, so that a couple of things: it'll stop all that blow by if there is any, and it'll also create a negative pressure in the oil pan, so that should help a lot with any possible tiny leaks or sweating coming out of the oil pan gasket. So that's the game plan. So we're going to give that a try and see how that works. Okay, well, we've got the gasket trimmed and we've got the intake for the blow-by. We got that installed, and so now it basically you're supposed to set this guy on top of that manifold and line it up with that tube. And there are a couple of places where there's nothing to put a screw in, but as it is right now, we're probably fine. Now, what do I want to do there? Do I want to paint that? Kind of looks like I should paint this in here instead of leaving it bare. So let me take this guy off again. Now that needs to be like that. I don't know why this has no stickum on it. Might be just too cold out here. But I want to keep this from getting anything on it. Let's see, that's not too bad. Okay. I'll bet you I can shoot a little bit of Okay, maybe I'll just leave that now. Okay, that's going to look better, I think, than that bare metal. So we're going to go with that. So break time again. Okay, well, now let's see. I've got the gasket here, and it is matched up. So that's all good. Interesting how they do that. Okay. And now my head gasket, my head is going to fit here, and I think I need some long bolts. These are all brand new, so I'm going to take and longs and shorts. Oh boy. Okay, well, that's a surprise. That's a surprise. Huh. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. Well, interesting. I wonder if these are the right ones now. Okay, well, okay. Well, that goes in there fine. And this one, I'm going to try to line it up. And it goes in fine. So, it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 for the other one. Huh. Well, that was unexpected. This is what I got in my kit. And this is the other size, and I thought they were all going to be the same, just these were going to be longer. So, I guess I'll call that outfit and see what they have to say. I'll be back in a minute.